What's up, everybody? This is Jones and my buddy Jim.
What's
Uh,
going
we,
on?
we are doing something for the first time together that I think we've been waiting probably our whole lives to do together. We are going to be doing a dueling against each other mock draft for the 2020 NFL draft in 5 days. And it's been like, how long we've been waiting for this?
I mean, since everyone's been quarantined, like this has been like the event. I mean, we are always look forward to the draft, but I think I'm looking forward to it more this year more than ever.
Right. Like I need something. I can only watch so much Netflix and Hulu, you know?
Yeah.
Well, real quick before we
So why
start.
don't you tell them how this works?
Okay, so what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to use the Draft Network simulator. And how we're going to do it is we decided that I'm going to pick all odds, such as 1, 3, and 5, and Jim's going to pick all even, such as 2, 4, and 6, all the way to 32. Because that's the first round. We're only going to do the first round predictions. We understand that there are probably going to be trades, and there will be trades. We're not going to do that. Look, that gets too confusing and completely out of bounds, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go straight up with the original draft order that is right now. I don't think you've heard of any trades lately. Are we still good?
Nothing. I've heard rumors, but I mean nothing solid.
Okay, so there's always going to be rumors.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that. We just want to have a great time and kind of do what we love, and this is what we do love. So that's what we're going to do. So what's going to happen is we both made up our mock drafts separately. We don't have any idea of what either others are picking, which is right.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I say I'm picking at number 7. Okay, at number 7, say I pick John Smith from Missouri. Now, Jim has John Smith at number 10. Well, obviously, he has to get a new number 10 spot, and vice versa as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't really think I've seen anybody do this before, Jim. Have you?
I saw the other day on NFL Network, Peter Schrager and Daniel Jeremiah did this, and like they did the same thing. One went odd, one went even, and it was kind of like one picked one player. Goes, oh, that changes what I got to do. So I mean, I think this will be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take kind of like quarters, for example. So after 8 picks, we're just going to kind of go back and look at a draft log and just kind of talk quick. Hey, what do you think of this? What does this look to you, et cetera? So obviously 32 picks, 8 times 4 quarters, you get it. So before we start, why don't you just give me like 15, 20 seconds, Jim, of why you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and who do you really want? And I shouldn't say person. Just tell me positions you want in person.
Okay. Well, I'm a Jags fan, have been since I was younger. Kyle Brady, you can see that jersey behind me there. He's from the area that we live in, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and as a kid, he's who I looked up to, so that's why I became a Jags fan. Haven't had too much to root for as a Jags fan over the years, but I've enjoyed it through the ups and downs. You and I actually went to my first Jags game, your first Jags game this past season against the Bucs. It was a heck of an experience. I mean, they can look at the videos on your channel here. But for me in this draft, the Jaguars need a lot. Now, the sexy picks, of course, are like skill positions like receivers and running backs and quarterbacks. But honestly, we need some defensive backs and we need some offensive and defensive linemen. So really, there's not too many wrong picks, in my opinion, for the Jaguars. There could be some reaches of players that you could get later, and that's why I think the Jaguars could be potential trade partners, and we've talked about that too. So, and we'll bring that up, like you said, throughout the draft where we think this could be a potential trade.
Yeah, we can. It's just so hard to predict. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. So for me, the Eagles, I grew up a big Charlie Garner fan. He was a running back for the Eagles, and Ricky Waters, because he was from Harrisburg, where both Jim and I are very closely from. And I love Randall Cunningham, and I love Bobby Hoyne. And also another reason why, and this is just me, obviously my last name's Jones. When I was young, my favorite player besides Charlie Garner was Chris T. Jones, who was a wide receiver. He was number 82 for the Eagles for like 2 or 3 seasons. He was a probably wide receiver 3, if not 4. And I loved him because he had my same last name. I thought that was so cool. So I remember getting that jersey at an old Boscov's near Harrisburg in Camp Hill. So that really started me probably when I was like maybe 9 years old. I was just a big Phillies and Flyers fan because my dad was obsessed with them and didn't care about the Eagles. So I kind of became an Eagles fan slowly through like 9, 10 years old. So,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping, guys, I mean, obviously right now we stand at 21, 21st overall for the pick. I want a receiver or I want a linebacker. So I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Are you ready, dude, or what?
I'm ready. Let's get this started. I'm sure
All
people
right, so
skipped
guys,
over us
what we're gonna do
talking.
is we're gonna share screen, and if there's any malfunctions or troubleshooting, we're sorry. We'll do the best we can. This is our first time really doing this formally, so we're gonna do the best we can. So let's share screen. All right, let's share screen. Okay, so we have this set up here so you guys can still see us at the top right of the screen. So we're just gonna have this set up through the Draft Network. It's a really nice site for kind of doing mock simulations. And again, I'm taking all odds, and Jim's taking all evens, and we're going to stop after each 8 picks. Okay, so obviously this is probably the biggest shoe-in there is. Joe Burrow is definitely going to go first overall.
I agree. I don't think there's going to be anything other than Joe Burrow at 1.
Right. He's the right pick. Hopefully he works in Cincinnati because it's all about coordinators according to him. We'll see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so number 2, I thought about going crazy thinking about a trade scenario. I know you and I earlier this week talked about the Redskins maybe wanting to trade, but honestly, in the long run, for them to trade this pick, they would have to get a king's ransom, and I just don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
And I think they're going to take the best player in the entire draft, in my opinion, and they're going to go with Chase Young, get that edge rusher there.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's going to be could be the next Bruce Smith. So solid. I think he has a little bit of Jadeveon Clowney's personality, keyword clown for clowning. He seems a little too into himself, and Bruce Smith was just a humble guy in college, but they're saying he could be like a Bruce Smith, so we'll see. For my 3rd pick, Matt Patricia, I don't know what he's going to do here. He's always like the bigger guys, but after he lost, Slay to obviously my Eagles, I think he's got to be the smartest person in the entire war room in Detroit and take Jeffrey Okudah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And this is also number 3 is a big trading option.
Oh, big one. But again, we don't know. We can only have conjecture.
I mean, Okudah definitely makes sense, and he's very, very highly thought of, and they need to replace him. And honestly, I think this season's do or die for Matt Patricia as head coach because he has not shown anything in 2 years there as the Detroit Lions head coach.
I have to be honest with you. I'm very curious who you're going to pick at 4 because I have heard so many things. If they don't go O-line, it could be who I'm thinking is the best player available.
Yeah, so I did a couple of mock drafts here I'm looking at. I went O-line for 1, and then I went defensive player for another. And so just like how we talked about Matt Patricia for the Lions, this could be it for him. Dave Gettleman, the GM for the New York Giants, this is kind of do or die for him. He honestly should have been fired last season. But they need offensive line help to protect Daniel Jones, quarterback, Saquon Barkley in the running game. But I think they need to make a splash here. And I think go with one of the most versatile defensive players, someone who could maybe be like the next Lawrence Taylor for them. And I'm going to go with Isaiah Simmons.
Wow.
Isaiah Simmons.
I did not see that coming. Even though I kind of hinted at it, I just didn't think you were going to bite. Good for you.
I mean, I think it makes the most sense for them. And if they want a good offensive tackle, they can trade back into the 1st round or get someone early in the 2nd round. I think it's that deep of a class. And apparently Simmons is like a once-in-a-lifetime defensive player. I mean, he can kind of do it all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to – at 5 guys, I think Miami's been looking for that quarterback that was that all-American boy. He's gonna feed the poor. He's going to offer a loaf of bread to a homeless person. I have to go Mr. Justin Herbert.
Wow.
I have to because I really think they want their next Dan Marino-esque player.
Okay.
And I see that more in Herbert than I do Tua. So that's just my opinion.
I mean,
for 6.
Well, just to go back on that last pick, I truly was in the boat that, no, it's Tua all the way. But as this week has gone out, the week before the draft, I'm really leaning more towards them going Herbert because they want to go with the safer option. Tua, they haven't been able to get their hands on him with their own doctors to see how his hip injury was. And I mean, they're the ones that are fighting over this. But for number 6 for the LA Chargers, I want to make sure I didn't say San Diego. The LA Chargers, they're actually in a great position here, in my opinion, because they're good with either QB. They're going to go QB here. They need their quarterback of the future. All they have right now is Tyrod Taylor.
I'm really scared.
Who will probably start all year, if not most of the year, depending on how it goes. So they're going to go with Tua Tagovailoa.
Wow. I don't know how to even say that. Good for you.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Chargers were happy with whatever they got, in my opinion.
Yeah. In my opinion, this is the most obvious pick besides 1 is 7. Okay. They got to go interior defensive lineman. They have to go Derek Brown without question, in my opinion.
Agree.
I don't see how Carolina can do any of that. They almost have to. They almost have to go that big horse from Auburn, in my opinion. So we don't need to talk about it more. Number 8, what do you think, buddy?
Number 8 for the Arizona Cardinals, their offensive line was atrocious last year. Yeah. And they have the chance to get the best offensive tackle, left tackle in the entire draft in Tristan Wirfs from Iowa.
Wow. I fully agree. If he's there at 7, that's a steal.
Absolutely. And I think they're not going to move at all. Yeah. And they were at 8, not 7. They were at 8.
Now, because Jim's my best friend, I'm giving him the 9th pick.
Oh, my God. All right. So I've gone back and forth on this, on what the Jags are going to do. I follow the Jags a lot more, obviously. I just watched 2 days ago their press conference with Dave Caldwell, the GM, Doug Marrone, who we met, head coach Doug Marrone, who apologized to us for the loss that we were at.
We're like, Doug, it's cool. Thanks for talking to us.
He put his arm around us and was like, will you guys come home for dinner?
Yeah. I low-key got a hug.
He was a big guy, too.
He was a huge guy.
Former offensive lineman.
Yeah. I think he wanted us to legit talk with them. It's going to be okay.
Now, from what I gathered, they're really looking at offensive and defensive line. And before we do this pick, do you want to recap the first 8 since we said we were going to do that?
Yeah, my bad. What was I thinking? Yeah, so as you see, guys, I'm scrolling down. I'm going to get all 8 on screen here. I don't think we can say anything different. I mean, I think that's a really good-looking first 8 picks. I think 5 and 6 would be the most interchangeable.
Yeah, and number 4, I mean, if the Giants go offensive lineman, where does Isaiah Simmons go? Does he drop the whole way to 7 with Carolina?
I think Isaiah Simmons goes to Carolina. Okay. And then I would say Derek Brown won't go until maybe you at 9.
Until the Jags, yeah.
Right, because 8 they have to protect. They have to protect Kyler Murray to get the ball to Hopkins, so they got to go a blindside tackle and worse. So, dude, at 4, when we're watching the draft on Thursday with our buddies, there's a great chance you might be getting Derek Brown at 9, which is a massive steal. He's a 5 to 8 guy, in my opinion.
And, I mean, I could tell you as a fan – that's who I've been wanting this whole process, because he technically – I've heard reports that people think he could be the best player in the entire draft and not Chase Young. Mm-hmm. But the Jaguars definitely need that run help on the defensive line. So let's get back to the draft with the Jags pick.
Okay,
number 9.
Available players. So we're picking right now at 9. My man Jim, take it.
So the Jags, I think they're probably going to trade out of this pick and trade back, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
And a person that I think they're going to look to try and get maybe is an offensive tackle.
Here?
And so an offensive tackle that I think they are going to go with is Jedrick Wills from Alabama.
Alabama, wow. Yeah. So at 9, you're going to say?
I mean, that's who I think they're going to get in the draft. But if they stay there at 9, then they'll probably get him.
So you're going to pick Jedrick Wills at 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jedrick Wills.
I'll be honest with you, I did not see that coming. And
as much as I wanted to go with a receiver, I just realistically don't think they're going to draft a receiver.
Well, I mean, you go ahead with 10 again because it's even. But, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer here. Go ahead.
Number 10, I believe they're going to go with Mekhi Becton.
I agree. And
now there was a report yesterday that came out about him failing a drug test.
Wow.
before the combine. So he could be one of those people like a Laramie Tunsil that drops to like mid of the first round. Because
Laramie Tunsil had a gas mask of marijuana.
Yes.
Okay, number 11. Again, they have to protect their young quarterback. They got to go Andrew Thomas from Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not see that. I have not mocked them an offensive lineman at all.
I did. They were talking about that they need someone to protect the young guy. He's young and he's good. Sam Darnold's good.
Well, I thought they were going to go a weapon for him, but that makes the Raiders happy because they get their number one choice at wide receiver. The Las Vegas Raiders, I think I said Oakland. They are Las Vegas Raiders. They are going to go with CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver from Oklahoma, who we talked about could be the best receiver in the draft is what people are thinking.
So this has to make C.J. Henderson just crap himself right now if he was being picked by Roger Goodell via us right now. I had C.J. Henderson as high as like 7, 8, 9.
And the Jaguars, I think, want him too. I think the Jags want him because he's a Florida guy.
Right, but you don't pick till 21 or 20, excuse me, and you already picked your offensive tackle. I thought you were going to pick C.J. Henderson because that's the best D-back, I think. But the 49ers, they don't need D-back help. They need wide receiver help.
Yep.
So I'm sad to say they're going to take Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
That's my opinion.
That would be a huge fall for Jeudy, in my opinion.
But I think it's accurate, though, because of what team needs are.
Yeah, I agree.
Who do you have at 14, buddy?
Well, I originally had someone who was off the board on both of mine, Andrew Thomas. So the Buccaneers –
protect Tom Brady. They got to protect Tom Brady.
They do got to protect Tom Brady. And I don't know if they would reach here or not for an offensive tackle. Josh Jones is either him or Jackson.
Or Isaiah Wilson, too.
Austin Jackson.
Ezra Cleveland from Boise. He's a big boy. That's a push. They could probably trade later.
They could trade later, or they could
go best available.
They could go with best available. But these guys do need offensive line help. I really believe that they do. So, it's definitely a stretch here, this offensive lineman. But I'm going to go with, what's his name, Josh Jones from Houston.
Wow. C.J. Henderson is literally trying to find both of us right now. Denver, this breaks my heart, but they need a receiver too. And the best receiver is Henry Ruggs III, who I wish we could have at 21. It's not going to happen because God hates me, for one. And two, I don't think it's possible to get the guy who's the next Tyreek Hill. So Denver, in my opinion, will take Henry Ruggs III, and it breaks my heart to click this.
Henry Ruggs, there he is.
I'm so mad right now.
All right, so the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
This guy has dropped to them and is a potential person that my Jaguars could have taken too. But I had him mocked in both of mine, and that is Javon Kinlaw from the University of South Carolina.
Oh, a defensive lineman?
Yes.
Okay.
Interior defensive lineman.
All right, we can do a quick draft log. Let's look at the last 16. This has been really fun so far, dude. So 9 to 16, I got to tell you, I did not have this mocked at all.
Neither did I. Look at
it's going to happen. With dueling mock drafts, it's going to go back and forth. But I'll be honest, I think 14, I love you. I don't see how that's going to happen.
No. And that's just because we had a run on offensive tackles. There's 4 right there in that the last 8 picks.
Right, and as a huge Eagles fan, I've been listening to Philly radio for the last 4 weeks with this whole COVID thing, and they're talking about seriously Howie Roseman trading up to get Lamb. So
wow,
I would be fine with that. I'm great with Henry Ruggs III, but CeeDee Lamb, that's like our Julio Jones right there.
Yeah, so, that'd be huge.
Yeah, and Jerry Jeudy going to San Francisco. I don't know if they have any. I picked that just because he's the best available for that, but and they need a receiver. But I don't think he has a lot of ties there. I don't think there's been a lot of interest there. But I don't know. Who knows?
If he's there, they'll take him for sure. I mean, in all of my mocks that I've done so far, I have not picked Jedrick Wills for the Jaguars, but in this dueling mock, it just seemed to make the most sense who I think they could potentially trade back for, especially if Derek Brown's gone. Now, I do know that they're probably interested in C.J. Henderson, the Jags are, and Javon Kinlaw, so those could have been options as well.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. So I'm not going to waste any time. Jerry Jones likes to be Mr. Controversy or get the sexiest name there is. He's going after C.J. Henderson. I know they got that HaHa Clinton Dix. They lost Byron Jones. They want their Deion Sanders, their prime time from the 90s in the 2020s. No better way to do that than the number one D-back, C.J. Henderson. Can't believe I'm saying that for Dallas because I hate Dallas.
C.J. Henderson. I mean, that would be a big steal for them if he dropped that far.
Yep.
Right, where am I at? I got
I think this might be a no-brainer, sir.
Yeah, I have Kalavon Chason. Is that how you say his first name?
Yep. At 18?
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you without question.
That was an easy pick. I mean, the Dolphins could use a little bit of everything, but –
yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at my mock right now to see. Who do we pick for the Raiders at 12? Oh,
CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. Whew. So they got that stud from last year for the Raiders that got hurt. Remember did he play for Alabama, the safety?
Jonathan Abram, Mississippi State.
Yeah, I don't know if they need help there.
At safety,
And they have their running backs covered. You know –
I would go defense though if it was me. I think you're in the right realm.
Like I have a hopefully I can make the pick if it gets to that team. But if you get it, I'm fine with it. We already talked about this pre-video.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go best available because the Raiders are just not very good. So why not have another great safety, Xavier McKinney?
Okay.
I didn't really want to pick it, but that's who I have. I had him at 17, or I had him at 16 for the Falcons. So, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
For the Jaguars.
Our next two picks are right.
Yeah, it's our teams now. Mm-hmm. So for the Jaguars, we definitely need defensive help. We need help on the defensive line. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to reach anywhere if Kinlaw and Brown are both gone. I think they wait to the second round and get someone like I think his name is Matabuke from Texas A&M. They could potentially get him in the beginning of the second round.
I agree with you.
I've done a couple mocks here. I've gone Grant Delpit, which
he's a stud, dude. LSU stud.
He is a stud.
He knows how to win.
He would be a perfect safety there, and we also need another corner. And I could see them going either Delpit or Christian Fulton.
Okay.
Both LSU guys. Leonard Fournette's got some pull there.
You need that Jalen Ramsey replacement.
We do, which would have been nice if Okudah somehow falls to the Jags, which isn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go for the Jaguars, I'm going to go with cornerback Christian Fulton.
From LSU.
They need corner help, and that's him.
So this leads to my odd pick and my Philly pick. There's three guys right now that, I would love to have 21, 22, 23 if we made that possible. Three guys I'm looking at is Grant Delpit because we lost Malcolm Jenkins, and I absolutely despise Jalen Mills, who's now going to apparently be the Green Goblin at safety. I don't want that whatsoever. I'm rocking my Murray jersey. So or Vontae Maddox jersey. What am I saying?
What was his number there, though?
29. I'm just hoping that I love Delpit, but more in the second round or late first. I just don't see him at 21 for us, although it makes sense. And I'm not a Justin Jefferson fan. You
made that very clear.
He's very much to me a slot, just like Nelson Aguilar, and look how wonderful that turned out. But the guy that I am craving to get, and we might trade back to even get him still, which I think we could. But the guy that I've been telling Jim that I want so bad, if I can't get my receiver, because I think we can get a receiver later, like a T. Higgins or that Rieger from TCU. I'm going with the guy that I've been staring at for weeks, Mr. Kenneth Murray, linebacker, the next Lawrence Taylor, the next Derek Thomas, the next Junior Seau from Oklahoma University. Go Sooners.
Wow.
I love him. I
think that's a very realistic pick, to be honest. And
I love him. I love him.
He could be there. I mean, he'll probably definitely be there at 21. But and if all four of those receivers are gone, because I think in real life, if Jefferson was there, they would go after him. But if Jefferson's gone, which he very much could be, then I think Kenneth Murray definitely is the next pick for you guys.
I want him. I've watched so much footage. I've listened to Philly radio, and former Philadelphia Eagles fullback John Ritchie, also a local from Harrisburg, he is raving about him, and he breaks down his film. And it's cool to hear a fullback talk about a linebacker because that's their true enemy when they have to try to make blocks. He said there's no way. He's the only linebacker. He goes, I don't think I can block. And he was a great blocker. I got to go with a pro's opinion.
No, I think that's a great pick, and you guys would be super happy if you had him.
Dude, I would lose it. For Ruggs,
you haven't had a stud linebacker since Trotter.
Since Jeremiah Trotter. I couldn't even tell you. The Axeman, 54. Loved him.
All right, my pick here, number 22, the Minnesota Vikings. They
lost Diggs.
They did lose Diggs, and for the sake of this draft, now if Jefferson was gone, I'd be going cornerback Jeff Gladney from TCU. But since Jefferson is there, and if he was there in real life at 22, they would 100% pull the trigger on Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Now, they have been linked in the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. So there's a chance that could happen. But as of today, 5 days before the draft, that hasn't happened. So I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, LSU. I think that's what they would definitely go with.
That's who I had too, brother. Are you ready for something insane?
I think I'm on your same wavelength here. If you're going to pick who I think you're going to pick, because this is probably what I was going to do too.
This is what I think. With this COVID-19, there's unpredictability, especially for college football. Trevor Lawrence is the sexiest name in the class of 2021. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what's going to happen this year. I don't know what's going to happen in the fall.
No.
Bill Belichick realizes there could be an issue. I don't think Matt Castle is going to be the king of the castle, if you know what I'm saying. I think they're going to go.
Matt Castle's not even there.
Huh?
He's not even there.
He's not?
They have Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer.
Oh, I thought Matt Castle was there.
No.
Okay. Forget what I said. I heard on the radio. I thought I heard his name. That's my bad. But they don't have anybody. They don't have a GOAT named Tom Brady. But what they're going to have is a little bit of Amore, Mr. Jordan Love.
I'm not surprised because that's where I was. Now, do I think it's really going to happen? I don't know.
I don't, but I think it's fun.
Yeah. I do think a little bit.
I
mean, it's possible. I mean, he's got that whole Patrick Mahomes, aura around him, and people love that.
I'll be honest with you. I thought either 23 or 24 for Love because I thought the Saints want to groom him with Breeze, but
Yeah. All right. So the Saints at 24 here.
I think it's obvious.
I mean, this is an obvious pick to me. Right from in-state, in-house, linebacker Patrick Queen from LSU. I mean, in all mocks that I've seen and mocks that I've done, it's been Patrick Queen. They need linebacker help. Yeah. Hometown boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it just works.
Yeah, I mean, this one's tricky for me because we already have, and I agreed with you about Jefferson going 22. The Vikings need a cornerback or a safety, but I think they need a cornerback more. But I think Jeff Gladney could be a push. So they got to go best available, and Grant Delpit. He could always be a cornerback. So
that's true.
So I'm going to go Delpit at 25. That's the only thing I could really think of.
If Delpit was still there, I think that would be kind of a steal. I mean, I know this is the Draft Network's rankings. This isn't like everyone's rankings. Mm-hmm. And I think theirs are a little skewed, but
I like their draft. I like their mom.
All right, Dolphins at 26 here. This is where I had them going with an offensive lineman. But we had that big run on offensive linemen. And so the next one that I think possibly could go would be Austin Jackson from USC. And my one coworker, I sent him my mock draft. He's a big Dolphins fan, and he thinks they definitely need an offensive lineman somewhere. Now, I didn't have Austin Jackson going to them. I had Josh Jones, who I had go much earlier, just the way that our dueling mock worked out. But he's the next best offensive tackle, in my opinion. I think he's higher than Isaiah Wilson or Ezra Cleveland.
You have Austin Jackson at 26?
Yeah, Austin Jackson. I think he's better than both those guys.
Okay, so we are 2 picks past our third quarter.
Of course we are.
So we're going to go back and just kind of look at what we've done. And I think we'll just look at 16. Let's look at 17 to 20 to 24, because that is 8. And we'll go over the 25th to 32 when we're done. But I really think Dallas could go C.J. Henderson. I made that pick on here, but Jerry Jones, man, he likes that I'm the man, and I'm going to get the man. To beat the man, I gotta beat the man. And I could see Jerry Jones, because he's so dramatic, to do that.
I mean, they have to go defense regardless.
Yeah. I think the Dolphins. I think your pick was perfect. I mean, they're going to get Chasen. I can see that.
I've seen the Cowboys going on him though, and I think I didn't have them going him on. I did in my one mock draft, but I don't think that one was as good. So no, and then Jaguars with Christian Fulton.
You be happy with that?
Kind of. I mean, not really. I mean, the way that this is fallen.
C.J. Anderson at 9, dude.
And I think they could, and I think they may trade with the Falcons at 16, because the Falcons apparently want to trade up. I don't know why, because I think maybe they really want Kinlaw. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we need defensive backs. I could have gone Delpit, but we need another corner.
I even, for 19, I even thought the Raiders would take another receiver. What the heck? Just because they're worse than the Eagles receiving core. And the Eagles receiving core, I think I was on it for maybe 2 weeks. Like, there's nobody there. But the Raiders are even worse. They're the worst receiving core in the league. It's proven.
And like the Raiders last year, the first year with Mike Mayock as GM, like he shocked everyone at 4 and picking Cleveland Farrell. And then at 22, he picked Josh Jacobs, who everyone said he was going to pick. So like,
and then they got Joseph, the safety. Abraham, stud.
Or Abram, maybe.
Abram, yeah, stud. He was hurt all last year. He'll be fine. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I love your pick at 20 because he's good. I love my pick at 21. I totally agree with 22. 23, I think it's just fun. Like Belichick, dude, he don't care. He loves developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, he does.
This could be a Patrick Mahomes 2.0. And guess what Patrick Mahomes did this past year? Got a ring.
And he may sit Love most of the season like Patrick Mahomes did with Alex Smith.
Yeah. And Patrick Queen is a steal at 24.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dude's a monster from LSU. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. We'll cover 25 and 26 when we're done. Let's keep it going. So I'm at 27. The Seahawks – I don't know how you feel about their running back system. I think they're good at running back. They have drafted 2 guys. They love Carson. I
don't think they're going running back.
Yeah, I know. I don't either. But
here's the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to the Seahawks. Take the position that they need the most and just don't pick that, because that's what they don't do. Like they picked like L.J. Collier. He didn't play at all. When they picked Rashad Penny, everyone was like, what the hell are they doing? Yeah. Like right now, they need an edge rusher. They're one of the leading candidates to trade with the Jags for Ngakoue. I don't think they're going to go edge rusher, in my opinion. The person that I have is a big reach, but I've seen it over the internet. And I won't say it until you do your pick. Yeah,
I was originally thinking interior lineman, just because they've talked about them being a run-first team, because they don't really have – I mean, they have Metcalf. And help me with the other guy's name. They're really good players.
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler, thank you. Lockett and Metcalf. I mean, those are two studs.
And they got Greg Olsen at tight end now.
Yeah, absolutely right. And he's a little old, but he knows how to run a route and catch a ball. I think they're going to have to go edge too, and I think it's going to be Yatir Gross-Matos, even though he's had some trouble at Penn State, got in trouble for some hazing and bullying and stuff, but like, all right, that's little.
Yeah, I mean, they waved it off, though, that it
right. So
there
that's
was
my pick for
substantial
27.
evidence.
That's my pick. I'm not a huge fan, but I think that he's the right pick at 27.
So let's see. For the Ravens, I've had them going defense.
Okay.
And honestly, the Ravens are well known for picking probably the best available player when it comes to anything. And for them, if I think Jeff Gladney's still there, why not go with him?
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I mean, and it just makes sense in my opinion for them.
100% agree, sir.
Because they're one of those teams, just like the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers always draft the best available. Like they drafted like linebacker like 3 years in a row, past few years, and it's like it's boring, but it's the best available.
Yeah. Tennessee to me, they were so fun to watch last year. I love seeing the reincarnation of Ryan Tannehill. I think Miami was a terrible part of his life, and I love that Marcus Mariota, who I knew sucked anyway, got thrown out of town. And I like Tannehill's story. He needs more people to throw to, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. Now, he has that number. What's the guy? Help me with the name. Number 11, who came up big for fantasy last year.
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown.
DK Metcalf's teammate from Ole Miss.
Right. Now, can you give me an idea of what kind of receiver is A.J. Brown?
I mean, he's kind of a possession receiver, kind of like quick across the middle and then uses his muscle and speed.
Okay.
They also have Corey Davis as well.
Yeah, but he's never done it, man. Like he's never.
We were there when he got drafted. We were there. Him and Adoree Jackson got drafted that year.
I know, and I remember we saw Adoree Jackson. But the guy they're going to take, this is a stretch, Jalen Reagor. They're going to take Jalen Reagor.
Wow.
29. That's my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. I don't care. It's my thought. Because they have the mean possession player. I'm going to grab that ball. I'm going to muscle you off. Now they have Jalen Reagor who runs the crispest routes. Stud. Probably a second rounder, but in this case, I think he could be a first rounder for the Tennessee Titans.
Interesting. Now, the Packers, I talked to our resident Packer fan, Mr. Zachary Sellers, yesterday.
Beautiful man, by the way.
And so I asked him straight up, I said, if the Packers don't draft a wide receiver, how mad are you going to be? He said, I'm going to come through the TV and strangle them. he wants another wide receiver.
Saw the movie The Ring once too many times.
Yeah. And it's like, how long can you not give one of the better quarterbacks in the league a wide receiver?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to choose from here. I'm going to go with the guy that's right near the top there, Denzel Mims from Baylor.
Wow, not T. Higgins.
No, T. Higgins, I don't believe he's going to go in the first round. For some reason, he has dropped on a lot of draft boards.
Wow, dude.
And it's because he didn't work out at the combine, and he didn't know that he wasn't going to get another chance to work out.
I could be out of my mind here, but I'm going to go with my gut. The 49ers. Now, let's go back. We said the 49ers are going to pick Jerry Jeudy. Dude, yes. I really have a feeling T. Higgins will be picked up too. Dude, their defense is unbelievable. Let's make the offense unbelievable too. We got Jimmy G, who's an absolute stud. Dude, can you imagine T. Higgins and Jerry Jeudy on the same team?
With Deebo Samuel, who already lit it up last year.
Amazing.
And George Kittle.
Get out of town.
And George Kittle. I mean, they would if they got those guys.
If they got those guys, it's Super Bowl champs.
Yeah. That would be unreal. Man. So, honestly, though, that pick 31, though, I think they're going to trade out because someone's going to trade up and we're going to see a fifth quarterback go.
I agree with you, buddy.
And I think that'll probably be someone like Jake Fromm because he seems to be rising up draft boards because he interviews really well, apparently.
I interview well, too. I'm at making millions.
There you go. So, I've seen for the last pick here, the first round, the Kansas City Chiefs. They could trade out of this too. You see that a lot as well.
They do need a running back.
But they have Damian Williams, who technically should have been the Super Bowl MVP. It's stupid that they gave it to Mahomes.
One game, sir, is one game. Just saying. And they have no more shady. And no one wants them.
I have seen DeAndre Swift go here. I've seen J.K. Dobbins go here.
I think so, yeah.
And honestly, though, I don't think they're going to go either of those guys.
Wow.
They lost their left guard, and they need to make up for that. You got to protect Patrick Mahomes. You got to give him time back there to make amazing plays. I think they're going to go
monster. Say it.
Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah, dude, great pick. I was just going to say that. Good for you.
Honestly, I've seen that in a couple mocks too, and it just makes the most sense. And they said they could move him they could start him at guard this year, and then maybe next year move him to center.
I 100% agree, man.
And so I think they may stick with their 32nd pick and take him, to be honest.
Yeah, I've heard Ruiz going to Seattle. I've heard him going to Tennessee even. But let's just talk quick about the last quarter of our picks from 25 to 32. Grant Delpit, that was my pick. That could be who knows. He's a great player.
I could see him dropping out of the first round altogether, to be honest.
Again, a national champion, though. They know how to win. They got the focus. They understand what to do. Obviously, there's 10 other players besides that person, but they obviously won that position.
I mean, he was injured most of this year, and that's why people were kind of iffy on him. Like, he didn't really play too much.
He's young, though. He's young. He's going to heal.
But his year before was amazing, and that's what people should be using that tape of.
I won't argue with that, sir.
Austin Jackson,
I was shocked that you said that, but it's fine. Shocked.
I think he's better than those other guys, to be honest. Gross Matos could go at 27 if they don't trade for Ngakoue. The player that I've seen the Seahawks go after at 27 is a guy named Jeremy Chin, a safety from Southern Illinois. And he's someone that apparently I saw reports on Twitter and some YouTube videos that I watched that they have made contact with him and they really like him. And I mean, how we talked about how Pete Carroll kind of is like loses his mind and just picks who he wants to pick. He doesn't give a crap about what other people think. And I think they'll go with this Jeremy Chin at safety, honestly.
Wow.
No one else would draft him in the first round, but they will.
Well, I totally agree with you about best available for Baltimore, but we'll see. 29, dude, that's just me being a little wild and crazy. He's a heck of a player, dude. Like, he's a great player.
Yeah.
I've watched his footage through ESPN Plus. Oh my God. He's not a top 4 in the draft for receivers, but he can end up being the number 1 ever. He could be the best receiver in this draft after 10 years from now. Good. So Tennessee gets a steal and a player for the next 10 years, in my opinion.
And, I mean, Green Bay goes with the best receiver that's available.
I thought you were going to say Higgins. I've heard Green Bay likes Higgins too.
I honestly don't think T. Higgins is going to go first round. And whoever gets him – I
don't disagree with you, but I feel like the 49ers want to go all in on a great offense because they didn't have that. That's the reason they lost Super Bowl.
That's true.
Yeah. And 32, I love your pick. I 100% agree, dude.
Now, you notice we didn't have one running back in the first round or we didn't have
that never really happens anymore. That was back in the 90s, really. You know what I mean? Like, that used to happen all the time. The last really big one was like Zeke Elliott, in 2016?
No, it was Zeke Elliott 2016.
And then Saquon Barkley.
You're forgetting somebody.
Christian McCaffrey?
Someone we saw get drafted before Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, who's that?
Fournette.
Oh, Lenny.
I'm not wearing Leonard Fournette. I'm wearing Chark, but
I'm wearing Devontae Maddox. All right, so I'm just going to scroll, guys, real slow. We've already talked about it. We don't need to, give you more lip service, but just going to go real slow here. Yeah, I think this is a fun thing. I mean, obviously, I'm going to save this just to see how, Jim and I do on the draft Thursday night. It's kind of
fun. Definitely save that. I'll be curious to see how that goes.
Yeah. Let me stop share there. Let's get back to us. Obviously, they want to see our beautiful faces a little bit. Of course. So, dude, this was fun.
Yeah, I had a blast.
I had a great time.
Yeah. And, I mean, there was definitely some unpredictable things that happened. I mean, you picking someone that I had somewhere else, and so I had to, look at my mock draft, look at who was available. I mean, it was a process. And were there some reaches? Absolutely. It's really hard to predict with trades. Like with the Jaguars, I had them pick Jedrick Wills, but if they would pick him at 16 instead of 9, it would make more sense if they say they traded with the Falcons.
Yeah. Well, dude, I had a great time doing this. We kind of talked a little bit before this, see how this goes. We might do some, fantasy stardoms per week in
Yeah.
the NFL. We might do just some pick'ems for teams, suicide pick, whatever.
Yeah.
We can talk a little college football. I mean, my man Jim's a big Penn State fan. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. So we always go back and forth, messing with each other. Even though I love Penn State players, they're great athletes. But we have a lot of fun just joking with each other. But I'm excited. We had a lot of fun, I feel.
Yeah, this was a good time. It was something to prepare for and get ready for. And I mean, as of today, 5 days before the draft, I'm so ready for it. I'm going to sit and watch all 7 rounds. Like, I'm not even joking.
Dude, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, they're rating.
Jim has a young daughter and I have a young son, so they're gonna have to find something to do. Just getting to our minds.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It was good doing this with you, man.
Yeah, I had a great time. Our first dueling mock draft, and I'll be honest with you, I won. So,
oh my God!
Just kidding. We tied because we're both beautiful. So there's a lot of fun. Look back again on YouTube to see more videos in the near future.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.